Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited. The Man Crisis. Learn why so many men are struggling to find their way in an increasingly gynocentric world in The Man Crisis. Get your copy of The Man Crisis in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today. A 45-year-old Chinese delivery man lost his life this weekend, and this Chinese restaurant worker wound up losing his life because of an ongoing dispute between the Great Wall restaurant in Forest Hills, Queens, and a 50-year-old customer who was having issues with the business. Now, according to reports, this 50-year-old customer allegedly had a beef with the restaurant due to a dispute he had many months or a year ago regarding not getting enough duck sauce with his order. And as a result of not getting enough duck sauce with his order, he started an ongoing dispute with this Chinese restaurant where his behavior was allegedly escalating as related to the spectrum of violence. And it is alleged that this escalation reached a violent crescendo where this individual wound up taking the life of this delivery worker. Now, the police are seeing this as an isolated incident, but when I take a critical examination of the alleged shooting of this delivery driver, it fits right in line with the pattern and profile for beta males that I talk about in my book, The Man Crisis. And it's clear to me, based on reports of the alleged suspect's behavior, he was one of these beta males who had a real serious problem with self-control. And one of the problems that many beta males have is that many of these beta males, they have really poor self-control, and they oftentimes act impulsively. And when they act impulsively, they react emotionally towards situations that are really trivial, and they wind up turning them into big melodramatic events. And that's what happened here with this 50-year-old man. According to the allegations, this man got so caught up in his emotions regarding not getting enough duck sauce from a Chinese food order that he wound up acting impulsively, got caught up in his emotions, and then exploded in anger at the people at the restaurant, and then used this to start a beef between himself and the workers at that restaurant. Now, I myself have gotten Chinese food and I didn't get enough duck sauce with orders, but the solution here is very simple. You either just ask the workers for more duck sauce as related to your order, or you just go to another restaurant. Unfortunately, many beta males do not know how to conflict resolve, and because they do not know how to conflict resolve, what they do is they escalate a matter because they take things personally, and when they take things personally, what they want to do is they want to hurt the people in that business, and they want to hurt the people in that business because they believe that they are personally being slighted, but the business may not be slighting the individual at all. It may just be that their procedure is to give people a certain amount of duck sauce, and you may just have to ask for extra. Unfortunately, this is something that the beta male cannot think about because the beta male does not think critically, and in some cases, they do not think at all. Because these men are emotional, they think that everything is personal, and they act out impulsively when they don't get their way. And because they're taking it personal, they go out here looking to go out here and hurt the people in that business. And what happens is, because they're looking to hurt the people in that business, that's when they start escalating their behavior. And that's what happened here with this individual. He was so upset about not getting enough soy sauce He wanted to try to hurt the people in that business because it is alleged that even after the incident with the soy sauce, not the soy sauce, the duck sauce, he then went back to the restaurant and then continued to make orders with the restaurant. And this is a prime example of the kind of dysfunctional behavior beta males participate in, because many of your beta males love to get into back and forths, and they love to get in back and forths because this is how they get one, attention for themselves, and two, this is how they keep the drama going between themselves and the individual they're having issues with, because the thing that they want to do at the end of the day is they want to see that person broken down. They want to see that person hurt, and that because they could not get this person to be hurt, the people in this business to be hurt. This is why this individual kept escalating their behavior in an alleged incident where they allegedly pulled out a weapon and then were doing damage to the owner's vehicle, a 2021 CRV. And these incidents again show how the beta male will escalate their behavior, because in some cases they are just like a female, and because they are just like a female, what they will do is try to keep the back and forth going, further escalating their behavior, looking to hurt the individual. And that's what makes beta males extremely dangerous, because many of these males have the emotions of a woman and the physical strength of a man. And that's what we saw right here with this 50-year-old individual. He was acting emotional like a female, and all of this really, again, wasn't about just the duck sauce. It was about him not feeling like these people at this business were giving him exactly what he wanted and what he felt entitled to. And again, that just shows the codependency that beta males do, because again, this is about attaching an emotional hose to people and being able to continue having the back and forth with them so that they can look to get to the power position. Now, this beta male, after going out here in this alleged incident that the owners alleged that the police did nothing about, further decided to escalate their behavior. And as they further went to escalate their behavior, everything ended in this violent crescendo of violence, where this delivery man, who was a father of three, allegedly lost his life. But all of this could have been prevented had law enforcement taken this individual seriously, because when it comes to beta males like this, these ticking time bombs, many of these males, what they do is they go out here looking to start beefs, they go looking to start back and forths, and if you do not shut them down early on, they will continue to escalate their behavior until they wind up going out here and participating in some extreme act of violence, where law enforcement has to finally step in and deal with this individual. And that's sadly what happened here with this beta male. This guy was escalating his behavior over a period of time, and sadly nobody took it seriously, and as a result, this delivery man wound up losing his life in a situation that really didn't have to be what it was. Again, I've been in Chinese restaurants, and if the food was not to my liking, I would just go to another Chinese restaurant, because here in New York, there's practically 3 to 5 of them in every neighborhood, and you have multiple options, and you can just choose to go out here and choose to go to another business. Unfortunately, beta males really do not understand that they do have choices, and because these men look to foster codependent relationships with businesses, they look to keep a back and forth going with a dysfunctional business, rather than realizing that they have the power at the end of the day to take their money elsewhere. Because oftentimes the beta male, he wants the business to have power over him, so that's why he keeps going into the back and forth with the individuals at a business instead of realizing at the end of the day, as the consumer, it is your job to go out here and realize the power of your money. And it is your job to understand that you, at the end of the day, are the one who has the ultimate choice because it's the business's job to earn your money. And if the business doesn't want your money, then you can take your money elsewhere. That is something that flies over the heads of many beta males, not only in places like Chinese restaurants or places, it also happens in comic book stores and toy stores. I've seen this happen in many places. Many of these beta males, they'll sit there continuing to be allegedly abused by these business owners and continuing to spend their money with these individuals. But what is more disturbing than that codependent relationship I've seen at comic book stores and places like these Arab stores and Chinese stores is this incident, because this just shows you how deep the codependency this individual had. They were looking to continue going on, trying to have this beef and back and forth with this individual. He didn't get the duck sauce he wanted in his first order, and he was still looking to keep going back and forth with this business. This is not the healthy behavior of a healthy individual. No, a healthy individual, they understand if I don't like the service at a business, what I do is I stop shopping at that business and I go take my money to a competitor. But this individual didn't understand the value of their dollar, the power they had in the relationship, and as a result, this individual is going to wind up losing all of their power once the police can finish their investigation, and then they wind up arresting this individual because this individual, over a pack of duck sauce, which costs less than nothing, has now basically lost his freedom, and as a result, he's going to go from ordering Chinese food to becoming an order for some Little Debbie snack cakes, ramen noodles, cans of Dr. Pepper, six-pack Oreo cookies, and other assorted commissary items. He's going to go from ordering Chinese food to being ordered by Bubba and Tiny as they exchange his booty for, again, those commissary items on the menu, those Little Debbie snack cakes, those ramen noodles, those cups of coffee, those cans of Dr. Pepper, those six-pack Oreo cookies, those Fritos chips, those Funyuns. He's going to go from ordering shrimp fried rice and chicken wings to being served up as the booty of the day by Bubba and Tiny. And as they're turning that tight end into a wide receiver, this guy is going to realize the mistake that he made getting into it with these people at a Chinese restaurant in Forest Hills, Queens, as he's sitting up in Sing Sing for the rest of his life. He's going to realize he threw away his life, and that's what happens to many of these beta males. Oftentimes they have to realize that when they have lost their freedom, they realize how badly they messed up, and how badly they messed up over something small and extremely trivial. But this incident really shows how worse the man crisis is getting in this country, because as I've stated before, we are now not only seeing an increase in these incidents, we are also seeing an increase in frequency of these incidents. And as we're seeing this increase in frequency of these incidents, we are seeing these beta males going berserk over the most trivial of things. And it's basically taking me back to the dark days of the late 1980s when I was in Park West High School and I was seeing these kind of individuals participating in this type of dysfunctional behavior basically every day. And that's what's happening now. We're seeing a lot of these males basically going off every day, and a lot of these males are going off due to the dysfunctional way they have been raised inside of these single mother households. And due to the lockdowns, many of these males who were ticking time bombs are becoming landmines, and these landmines are basically exploding all across the country at a higher increase in frequency. And that is making it like walking on eggshells in places like New York City, where most people don't feel safe, and most people aren't feeling safe because they are scared of the crime, but the crime is just a symptom of the man crisis in this country, because we've got, again, 2 to 3 generations of these beta males, and these are almost hundreds of millions of men, and these men are exploding at an increasing frequency because the clock has been accelerated in most of them due to the high unemployment, due to the high crime, and due to many men feeling extremely unstable about their economic situation. Many of these men are becoming more and more dangerous. Unfortunately, many aren't acknowledging this man crisis going on all across the country, and they're not taking the gravity of this man crisis seriously because many are in their own world. So we have a lot of people stuck in a rose-colored reality, and a lot of them don't want to acknowledge the man crisis, because to acknowledge the man crisis means going out here and acknowledging that there are those in of a certain party who created many of the policies that created these beta males over 60 years ago, and it also means acknowledging that many of the women did a poor job raising these boys, and that the whole economic condition of the country is not leading to the raising of productive adults. So it means a total change in the way we do business in the country, and many people don't want to acknowledge the man crisis because it means changing the way we do things. But if we don't change the way we do things, we may not have a civilization, because when you have a society of beta males, nothing is built, because most beta males destroy everything around them, and as they're destroying everything around them, there's no way to build anything. And because these men only value the attention and the favor of women, they don't look to build or preserve anything. And that's one of the reasons why nothing ever comes out of a civilization filled with beta males. Many of these males, they are a clear and present danger to a society, because when you have an entire culture of these so-called kinder, gentler, softer beta males, these men are not fit to lead. These men are not fit to compete. These men are not fit to build or maintain a civilization. No, these men are not able to function in society. And when you've got a large population of these kind of males, you are going to have a nation in crisis, and you may not even have a nation for much longer, because the chaos that these beta males participate in makes them a danger to others, makes them a danger to themselves, and make it where a society isn't safe. A society can't function, because when you have large populations of these beta males, they don't know how to do anything. They don't know how to build anything. They don't know how to protect or preserve anything, because they don't understand their role as a man. They think of life from a female perspective, and that's what makes these men extremely dangerous to have around, because again, they have the emotions of a female and the strength of a man. And with that type of impulsive framework of mindset, where they're reacting to everything and acting violently, they can tear down everything around them, just like they tore down this business in Forest Hills, Queens, and took the life of this innocent delivery driver. Now, if you want to learn more about the dysfunctional behavior of beta males and how destructive it has been to society, you can pick up my book, The Man Crisis, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find The Man Crisis on Smashwords, the iBookstore, and Google Play. And if you want to see me make more men's issues videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available for pre-order on Kindle. Stop Simping in Cyberspace. Learn how to avoid predatory females in their virtual con games with Stop Simping in Cyberspace. Pre-order your copy of Stop Simping in Cyberspace on Kindle today.